This is Scott Ramsay, volunteer coordinator at Wood Lake Nature Center, and we have a couple of questions for you. Number one, if you could change one thing in the world concerning nature, what would you choose and why?
I would, if I could change something, nature is perfect the way it is, but I would actually get more people out in nature. That's why I have this job. It's one of the things I try to do, so that people would enjoy it more, love it more, and take care of it more. And that's the one thing I would change, because it seems like so many people don't get outside enough and don't understand the natural world around us like we used to when people were outside more. Too much time indoors, playing video games. Not that they're bad, but being outside, I would get more people outside so they can enjoy it and love it and take care of it, and that would be it.
So what is your favorite thing to do at your work at Wood Lake Nature Center?
Well, my favorite thing is to teach other people about the natural world, and as a part of that, working with the animals that we have on exhibit, the snakes, the turtles, amphibians. I really enjoy working with animals and working with the people so that they can have the same respect for wildlife that I have grown to have, and get people to just understand more about their natural world.
All right. When did you start working at Wood Lake Nature Center?
I started here in 1996, so that was 15 years ago, and that's when I started.
So why did you start working here?
Why? Well, I'd worked at another nature center for 10 years, and the manager here called me up and asked me if I'd like to apply for a position because one of the other naturalists left, and I was ready for a change. So it's a completely different resource than I was used to interpreting, and I thought that would be a good challenge and a new place to work, which is always fun. I could learn some new things and also teach a different group of students, because I was up in the Fridley area before, which were all the Fridley kids, and coming down here to teach the Richfield kids and Bloomington kids was just a little different audience.
All right, and where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Hopkins, Minnetonka area, just a few miles west of here.
Complete this thought. When I started working here, my first impression was blank, and why?
When I started working here, I'd come from a place that had a lot of diversity of ecosystems. It had a lot of different kind of forest and a stream going through and a beaver pond. And when I came down to Wood Lake, my first impression was, oh my gosh, there's nothing here but a marsh. It's just a wetland and no other diversity. But I've come to find that there's a ton of diversity in a marsh itself. Lots of different plants and animals, probably more diversity than any other kind of ecosystem besides the tropical rainforest. So a marsh has been a great place to learn about and interpret. And we have a lot of diversity in our forest around the lake, and we have some prairie, and then of course the marsh is our main feature.
So what was your favorite memory from working at Wood Lake, and why?
My favorite memory would have to be one time we were out doing some invasive species management. We were pulling buckthorn, and there was a group of junior high students, and this one person was really overweight, and the other kids kind of made fun of that person. And when we got to pulling the buckthorn, you have to pry the plants out of the ground using a big weed wrench that gives you leverage. And anytime people couldn't get enough leverage, the kid who was overweight was able to lean on the weed wrench, became the hero of the group because they had enough weight to pry huge trees out of the ground. And by the end of the class, you could just tell that person, they had so much more confidence and felt like they were like the champion of the group, and all the other kids weren't making fun of them anymore because they were overweight. They were like rallying around that person because they could get so much work done. So just to see that person really become the hero of the group was really a great memory to have.
All right, and final question. What led you to the job that you have now?
What led me here, I actually went to college to become a natural resource planner, and which is a person who plans. I wanted to save the boundary waters and plan natural resources in the boundary waters, but I couldn't get a job at that time, so I started volunteering at a nature center in Bloomington, at Richardson Nature Center, and as a volunteer there, they eventually hired me as one of the seasonal naturalists, and that's what got me started in this field, and I've been a naturalist ever since.